Hi and welcome to the Flat Back 4 podcast with me, Andy Maguire. Joining me this week, we have Scott Eaglen and Demi Moss returning.
The return.
He's been injured every week. Look at him. Yeah, I've got to say, mate, you look awful. Are you all right?
I'm not even going to respond.
All right, listen. Massive day. Premier League's back. Leeds United, 16 years out. It's today, boys. Just emotions waking up this morning. I know I felt a little bit emotional this morning waking up, especially, thinking and looking at more grey hairs than when we last were in the Premier League. But probably a few more grey hairs to come this season now, boys. But we're back. So how do we all feel?
I'm excited as you would be for a new season.
Scared.
But I'm scared, but it's just tinged with a bit of sadness because there's no fans there. The return that I wanted for Leeds and for the Premier League in general was to come back and, after 16 years and us all be there and all be at Anfield or all be at Ellen Road, and it's just tinged with a little bit of sadness. But yeah, delighted to be back. Delighted to have football back again. Doesn't seem like 2 minutes since it's been away.
Well, let's be honest, it's never been off, has it, Damien? But I mean, obviously you're quite excited for today. But how did you feel when you woke up this morning?
Just buzzing, really. Just absolutely can't wait for it. Can't wait to show Premier League what they've been missing. Because especially when fans are allowed back, I don't think they're going to know what's it.
I agree.
I think it's
we're going to touch back on that actually. Though we're going to preview the Leeds Liverpool game a little bit later on. But we've done our teams that we think are going to finish in the top 6. But apparently Scott didn't want to do 1 to 20.
I've done a 1 to 20. I've done a 1 to 20.
So he must think that Leeds are going to either finish top 6 or bottom 3 because he said he don't care about the bits in between. So we're going to start it off. I've got mine in front of me, so I'm just going to quickly, and this is going to show Scott just how easy it is just to read out 20 teams. So I've actually got Man City to win. I think if they do sort out a centre back, I think they'll be too strong. I think Liverpool have not bought what I thought they would do. I think you should always strengthen when you're on top. So Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man U are my top 4, and Arsenal, Tottenham. It was a toss-up, really. I didn't really know what to do for them too. And then I've gone Wolves, Everton, Leicester, Sheffield, Southampton, then Leeds, 12th. Newcastle, Burnley, Brighton, Palace, West Ham, and then my bottom 3 are Villa, Fulham, and West Brom.
Okay.
So, it's hard. I mean, to be honest, Scott, I get what you mean, like that middle bit. But I think Leeds we're going to hover around that mid-table, and I think if we finish 12th, I think it'd be an unbelievable season. So, top 4, I just think that Man U would strengthen well. I think Chelsea are the ones that might upset the top 2. Arsenal, Tottenham, it was just a toss of a coin. I still don't think Spurs are strong enough to break into that top 4. But I think maybe Arsenal, they might be pushing.
Who are you bottom 3? Who are you bottom 3?
Bottom 3 is Villa, Fulham, and West Brom. But again, it could be a toss-up, West Ham or Villa. I think West Ham are in some serious trouble.
Okay. You want me to do mine?
Yeah, go on.
I've done a 20.
Okay. Hey, Damien, wow. Hell.
Can't believe you did it.
Listen, this took me 3 minutes to do this, and I'm a busy man.
Funny that, Damien. I texted that, didn't I, in the group? Said 3 minutes. Go on, mate. Go on.
Liverpool to win again. I don't think they needed to strengthen. Although sometimes I do think, when you're at the top and you've won something, it is the time to strengthen. But with a team like that, I didn't think they needed to add much. I've got Man United second. I think that they've got a good solid base there. I think De Gea will come out of his shell again a little bit this season. They've invested well, and I think they'll actually tie up Sancho before this season sort of gets properly underway.
Yeah, I think that deal will go through.
Yeah, and I've got Man City third, because I think there's a lot going on at Man City at the minute. They still haven't replaced Kompany. Aguero's 32. David Silva will be a huge loss this season, and I just think there's a lot going on behind the scenes there at Man City, and I think you can read into a lot there. Chelsea 4th, 5th Spurs, 6th Arsenal, 7th Leicester, 8th Everton, 9th Wolves, 10th Sheffield United, 11th Newcastle, 12th Leeds, same as you, Andy. 13th Crystal Palace, 14th West Brom, 15th Villa, 16th Southampton, 17th West Ham, 18th Burnley. I think there's a lot going on at Burnley again. Sean Dyche has signed nobody at all. I think there's again a lot going on behind the scenes. If you listen to a lot of interviews that Sean Dyche is talking, he's banging on about not getting the players that he wants, and I think Sean Dyche will probably leave before January because he's been really vocal about the players that he's not getting. Brighton in 19th. They have absolutely no firepower whatsoever. I know Lallana's a good signing, but apart from Lallana, I don't think there's much up there.
They've lost Glenn Murray now, so they've lost 6 goals this season.
Yeah, they've lost 6 goals, and I don't think there's much firepower there. I think they rely a lot on Neil Maupay, and I don't think you can. I think defensively they'll be quite good with Ben White obviously coming back, and I think 28th is probably the same as all 3 of us. Fulham. I don't see Fulham doing much this season at all.
Well, I had West Brom, so
Okay.
No, fair enough. I mean, Burnley was a funny one, but you always feel like if Sean Dyche does stay, that he'll probably get enough out of that team.
I think it relies a lot on that, whether Sean Dyche stays or whether he gets to some other. Because I think Sean Dyche has gone over the last few seasons. He's bought either free transfers, players that have, are experienced in the Premier League and they're sort of coming out of a long-term contract and they go straight into Burnley. But he's just not got the players that he's really wanted.
We've lost Jeff Hendrick as well, haven't they?
Yeah, and he was a big one for Burnley, wasn't they? And although they have got a solid back four and a keeper,
they've rejected 3 bids now for Tarkowski for 30.
Yeah,
30 on.
They've got a good team, and they have got a good team when I talk about 11. But in terms of what they've got for backup, they don't really have a lot, and they've sold a lot of the backup as well, or moved a lot on.
Fair play. No, that's a good shout. It's a good shout. Go on then, Damien. 1 to 20.
Yeah, obviously top have got Leeds. I'm not joking.
You're not joking though.
No, I can hope. I've got City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Chelsea, they might jump in second because I think they're bought. I'm not because of Frank Lampard, but they've bought very, very well.
I think so as well.
I think they've had a good. They've had a good window, haven't they?
I think we all agree that they're maybe the dark horses. If anyone just has a challenge this year, it won't be like your Arsenal or Tottenham. It'll be Chelsea. That if they won the league, you go, well, maybe we did. Maybe we did see that because they bought well, like you said, Damien.
Yeah, and then I've got Spurs in 4th. I've got Spurs. I think Mourinho. After watching that documentary,
yeah,
I do. I think he's going to get them going. I do.
Yeah.
And then I've got Arsenal in 5th.
Wow.
And then I've got Scum 6th.
Sorry, who was Scum? Sorry, who was Scum? Sorry.
That team.
That Brighton? Is that Brighton? Because that's who a lot of Leeds fans think are Scum at the minute.
It's the same city as Man City, but the other half. Then I've got Wolves in 7th, Everton 8th, and then I've got Leicester 9th, and then Leeds 10th.
Okay.
Southampton 11th, because I think they'll be nowhere near relegation like they started off last season.
I agree.
Sheffield United 12th. I think it'll be a bit tougher this season. That second season.
I agree.
Palace 13th. I was going to put Palace lower, but they've signed Batshuayi.
Batshuayi, yeah.
True.
Yes, so I think they'll be a bit higher. And I've got Newcastle 14th. Burnley. I nearly put Burnley just above relegation, but I put them in 15th because I think this will be Sean Dyche's last season, like Scott was saying. I do. So maybe they'll go down next season because I think as soon as he goes, that's it for them.
Yeah, I agree.
West Ham 16th, Villa 17th, and then we bottom 3 are Brighton, West Brom, Fulham, which is quite similar to what we've all got on with. So
yeah, it's all down there. I have Palace quite far down there. I just don't know. I think it's just. I know what you can kind of get with Palace, but again, maybe a lot relies on Roy Hodgson. If he stays, I
think a lot on Palace relied on whether Zaha stayed, and he has stayed, and they've also got Eberechi Eze as well as Batshuayi. So I think there's a lot of firepower going forward there. And they've always
had where he starts Eze, and if he starts well, then maybe.
And they've always had a solid defence.
Championship.
He was. He was probably the standout player last season, winning a championship.
I'll tell you what I want to touch on. Where did you have Newcastle, Scott? I've got them 13th.
11th.
Right. Okay, I've got them 13th. However, the signings of Callum Wilson and Fraser, does it change stuff there? So they're 2 good signings, then.
They are, but they're very much mid-table signings, aren't they? Let's be honest.
They are, but still, I think they're good signings. I mean, as a pair, nobody's had better assist and goal ratio from Sutton and Shearer. Is that? I think I read that the other week. They've had the most assists.
I absolutely love what Simon Jordan said about Fraser the other day.
He's right though, isn't he? Isn't he right?
He was right.
Bang on.
If you're a manager and you're wanting to invest in players who want to play for a club, and you want to and you want to integrate them into the team, and whether they're team playing, you're thinking a team like Newcastle where things are probably going to get tough at some points this season. You're going to want players to stand up, and is Ryan Fraser going to stand up with that history?
all right, I'm going to devil's advocate. What about if he'd have broke his leg and then he doesn't get a move?
Oh, he would have got a move eventually.
Wasn't enjoying the club. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. He didn't have a great relationship with Eddie Howe, and he probably thought, well, you know what, this manager doesn't really trust in me, so why do I need to play extra? And then I don't get my move.
Whether he's got a good relationship with Eddie Howe or not, he's clearly got a good relationship with Bournemouth. He's been there 7 years.
Do you think he'd have kept him up if he'd have played?
Probably not, no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No. So realistically, he probably thought, we're in a bit of trouble here.
You never know, do you? You never know, do you? But I don't think it would have made a great deal of difference. I think they're on a downward spiral.
I would want someone like that. I would want someone like that in my club at Leeds.
You won't, would you? You won't want somebody with that sort of attitude.
Bit of a bad egg. It's going to be interesting what Fraser turns up at Newcastle, because if he does listen as a player, he's a good player, and if he plays to his potential, then they've got a good signing there, Newcastle. I think Callum Wilson will always score goals. Whether he gets 20, don't know. But if he can get 15, and
mate, Dwight Gale is unplayable on his day, isn't he? Ain't that right, Andy?
I like Dwight Gale. I'd have taken him. I just think they're a funny one, Newcastle. They're just, it might just be a toss of a coin if they click and they actually play well. It's funny that we all had Leicester not as high as maybe we had. I think there's a little something going on behind there as well. Obviously, they've lost Ben Chilwell to Chelsea, and Vardy's 34 next. If he can get him playing, there'll always be that team. Like, I'm not looking forward to playing Leicester. You know what I mean?
They're
a tricky team. So, but it's funny, the Brendan Rodgers effect that we all thought, it kind of came in and then it went away. In fact, they were poor, weren't they, after lockdown?
Well, just before lockdown, I think they were poor. I think from January they were quite poor, weren't they?
They weren't amazing, were they? But do you think they'll have any last minute signings?
No,
do you think so?
I don't think so. I think when they have invested, to be fair, Leicester, they've invested quite well, haven't they? I'm still a huge fan of Tielemans. I think they've got a good midfield with Ndidi. They've got a good back four. Soyuncu were in the team of the year. Chilwell's a big miss, but from what I hear from Leicester fans, they're not really too upset about losing him. Have you heard a lot?
Business that, didn't me? 50 million for a player that came through their academy.
Anyway, it's very, very good. It's just silly money. He's a very, very good player, he is, but it's the money that's been bandied about now. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Is that because he's English though, and he's left back for England? And
probably. Well, Burnley said 50 million for Tarkowski as well, haven't they?
Yeah, I know. I think 25-30 mil is enough. I don't think.
I understand them not wanting to sell him because he's a big part of them. They need to keep him. I understand that. It's just the money nowadays. It's just silly in my eyes.
Yeah.
But all right then. Obviously, I've just again devil's advocate. Leicester losing Chilwell, it's a bigger loss, but Ben Chilwell is a massive gain for Chelsea because they were quite poor at the back. They've obviously bought well with Thiago Silva. Me and Scott touched on it the other week in the pod. I think it's a great signing that they can get 25 games out of him, that leader. What is your thoughts on Thiago Silva coming in at 35, Damon?
I think it's experience, isn't it? He's been around, he's done it. I think, like you say, he probably don't do 38 games, but if you can get 20-25 games out of him, he's going to propel him. He's going to help him get them clean sheet. They need to propel him up league, definitely.
And he helps the youngsters, doesn't he? He gets all that experience, like Zuma and
everyone around him. I love it. Yeah, of course I will.
Yeah, he's. For me, it was a bit of a no-brainer. I know why Scott's laughing at my Tomori. He kind of fell out of favour, didn't he? But I think maybe having someone like Thiago Silva in that dressing room, who's won it, if they're down 1-0 at half time, and someone who's been there can say, I think, like you said, Dean, I think we all agree that Chelsea have probably bought the best out of everyone.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Some of the signings that they've made is that Werner will be Timo Werner, whatever he's called. He'll be
brilliant.
Top scorer. It's a right signing. Yeah,
we spoke about him when we did the Bundesliga. Weeks ago? 13, 14 weeks ago. We talked about Werner, how we'd like to see him, and he was nailed on to go to Liverpool. Yeah. And then it kind of just Liverpool, and I think Liverpool have missed a trick there. I thought they should have got him. However, they're still linked with Thiago Scott. If he goes and Gini goes to Barcelona, I think it's quite a straight swap, really. He's kind of won it all here. He probably wants a new challenge. But Thiago, great player. If they can get him, that strengthens them quite good as well. I know they lose one, but he's a winner.
It's a no-brainer, though, isn't it, for them? I think they're the same age, aren't they? They're both 29. They're both a similar
Yeah.
type of player. They're both runners. They're both technically very good. I think Thiago's just turned down a new contract at Bayern, hasn't he? So that will probably be pushed through over the next couple of weeks.
23 million euros or something. I mean, it's a snip. Even if he's not great, not that it sounds ridiculous to say that, but 23 million at this very top level, it's not like spending 80 million.
Yeah, and for a 29-year-old now, I think as well, you see a lot of players now going in well into the 30s who still feel as if they're well in the prime. I mean, look at Rodrigo at Leeds. He's signing for 25 million. Thiago's 29, 25 million. It's a no-brainer really to get 2-3 top years out of him. And like we were touching on Liverpool, I think they're not going to strengthen massively in key areas, but the positions where they've lost players like Wijnaldum, they'll strengthen with players that are just like for like.
Yeah,
I think you always need to keep improving and keep it fresh. So that's why I don't think we'll win this year.
Yeah, Alex Ferguson always said that, didn't he? You should always strengthen when you're at the top. Yeah, and although I still think Liverpool will finish top, I do think they'll still need to invest before whenever the transfer window does. And is it end of September or end of October? I can't remember when it is.
4th of October or something.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I'd still expect Liverpool to invest.
I do. I think they're gonna shock a couple of people. I think a couple of signings will come in because I just don't. I think when you finish the season like Liverpool did as champions, I can't see any reason why they wouldn't. Like we've all said, they've got a great team, but you've got to just add, whether it's just one or two little bolsters of your squad. If you are going to lose a Genie or like they'll send some players out on loan. I think Ryan Bruce is going out on loan. Like he's not going to stay and really challenge getting to there. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Let's just touch on Leeds. Obviously, like we said with the signings of Rodrigo. It's a great signing. It is a risky signing, but I think any person that we would have got in anyway would have been risky unless we bought maybe proven Premier League players. Because obviously we haven't been in the league for a lot of years. The players that he's brought in haven't got the Premier League experience, but I think we all agree he needs an early goal. Let's just get that out there. If he gets an early goal, it can open up. It settles you, doesn't it?
Personally, I think you'll find him playing not up front. I think you'll find
as a number 10
on one of the wings or a number 10. Yeah, I think he'll stick with Bamford to start with, but I do think Rodrigo will start tonight at the same time. I think Bamford will start, and I think he's going to start. He'll start Rodrigo as well. He plays for Spain regularly, doesn't he? So he's not. It's a risky sign, but obviously he's got something about it to play for Spain all the time.
Oh no, he's obviously a great player.
He's a good. And
it's a great player.
I think everyone's saying that it fits the Bielsa mould, and that's I think more important to Bielsa than anything really. So,
well, we all know that the study. I mean, Rodrigo. My God, I bet Bielsa probably studied what he eats for breakfast. Who does he talk to? Who does he not talk to? What's his Facebook status? I mean, literally, like everything will have been meticulously planned out with Bielsa. We know that's what he's like. So hopefully, he comes in. Does he speak English, Rodrigo? Do we know this?
Yeah. Yeah,
does
he's had a very good English interview as well.
He does. He does because we saw the video tagged on Twitter, and he does. So I always think that's a big bonus for a player coming into a squad. Robin Koch, Leeds fans are we're gonna have some fun with that player. But from what I've read and what I've seen, everyone rates this lad a lot. So it's hard to. You want to say, look, we think he's going to be good, but until we see 4 or 5 games, it's going to be just a case of let's watch him. Let's not get on his back. New league, and we see how he plays.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Ben White absolutely class last year, and he will be class. He'll play for England. He will, unbelievable player. He's class. But when Brighton are asking for £40 million for him, and we've gone and got this player who's German international now, he's getting into German squads, and we've paid £13 million for him. I think he were a couple of seasons ago. He was Soyuncu's partner at Freiburg. I think.
Right, okay.
So if he comes as good as he played last year, then I'll be very happy.
And it's German. Playing in that German league, it's got a sense of that Premier League-esque of the physicality. So it's not like he's coming from a Brazilian league or French league where you're not as tested unless you're playing Neymar and Mbappe.
I think they finished top half as well, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think because normally Freiburg aren't a particularly big team, but I think they had a good season as well.
Isn't that where Papa Cisse came from all them years ago? I think he came from Freiburg. I'm pretty sure he did. But I think they've got a bit of a history of actually getting some good players. So it bodes well for Leeds.
He's played with Click as well at Kaiserslautern.
Right.
Ago, so
I think with Leeds, I think with us today, I don't think any of us are expecting to win 3-4-0. Even if we lost today, which, listen, we are heavy favourites to lose, and rightly so, we're playing the champions, right? But if we lose, it'd be nice to lose a 1-0, 2-1, great performance, make Liverpool sweat. I think we all agree with that. But at the same time, probably the best time to play Liverpool, Scott.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. They've had a poor pre-season at Liverpool, haven't they? They
have, yeah.
They played in the Community Shield, didn't they? They were poor that day, really, really poor. They had the greatest of pre-seasons. They had a slow start against Blackpool. They went 2-0 down at half-time.
Finished strong though, didn't they?
Won't mention the final score, but again, a poor start, and Leeds tend to start seasons well. They tend to start games well. I think it'll go one or two ways today. I think we could either feel the wrath of Liverpool, or we could sneak a 1-0. It depends what Liverpool turns up.
It does feel like that, Damien. I don't know about you, but I don't feel like we'll get absolutely hammered today. I think it'll be a...
Sorry, mate. My only worry with Leeds this season, you know me, mate. I'm a pessimist when it comes to Leeds, and I think, well, a couple of worries with Leeds. The striking options that we've got. I know Rodrigo's coming in. Who I agree with Dean. We'll probably more play on either the wing or a number 10 role. I think we'll be reliant too much on Bamford. I don't see anybody else coming in to play that number 9 role. I think
scares me that.
Yeah, it does, and although he did okay in the Championship in the grand scheme of things in terms of his goal scoring record, I don't know whether he can replicate it in the Premier League. With Rodrigo, it depends again which Rodrigo we get. Do we get the Spain Rodrigo, or do we get the Bolton Rodrigo that was here 8-9 years ago? I worry about our defence as well. That there isn't a lot of Premier League experience in our defence. Although it's brilliant to have Koch come in as a German international. There isn't a great deal of Premier League experience across the team, and my main worry with Leeds, and and Demi, this is probably the only thing we'll agree on, is the goalkeeper, because I think we know what Bielsa's like. He persists with players who he thinks he can rely on, and I think he can rely on Casilla a lot, and the man is just an absolute liability. I heard a lot of people saying he's got his clean sheet record in the other part of last season. He had. Did correct me if I'm wrong? Did he have the most clean sheets in the league? Across?
Yeah, I think he had 15 in total. Did he?
I think that was based on the defence, and it was a lot on Ben White, a lot on Liam Cooper, a lot on Luke Ayling, and a lot on whoever played left back at the time. And I worry so much about Casilla because, particularly in the Premier League, you see
keeper as well.
Yeah, he flaps at crosses. He's not the greatest shot stopper. I wouldn't say he's very reliable. And even if we were to not use Casilla, and I like Meslier, I really, really do. What is he, 21, 22? Can you rely on a keeper of that age at this sort of standard? I was saying
Scott,
to you,
I'm just going to stop you. You
Sorry.
made a good point yesterday, Scott. You made a good point. Demi, throw it to you. He said, "Did we miss the trick? Go get Ben Foster, who's just got a ton of Premier League experience. Who, let's argue, could still." Last night he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Again last night, he, someone like that, 37, loads of. Imagine him talking to your back four, and guiding players like Cooper that have, not played at this level, and No,
it would have been a good shout. Like, do you think at that age, do you think he moves up north after being?
That's
at
probably
Watford,
the only thing.
Yeah, but I can't doubt it. He's a good keeper. I'd take him if we got offered him to cover instead of Casilla. He'd snap your hands off. Of course, I would. I think it is a step, of course, it is from Meslier. But I think the way he came in at the end of last season, I think it's proven that he can handle some kind of pressure. And like I say, I'm not comparing Premiership to Championship. I'm not, but I think it bodes well for him. I think he must start. He must start.
I agree with you, David.
One thing with League
you get more shots in the Championship, but I thought for a 21, 22-year-old, I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah. Do you know what we can see? His shot stopping it's not a big thing for me. It's not a worry as such. I know he conceded a lot of goals, but his shot stopping in general is quite good, which it should be for a keeper. That's your standard job. You should be a shot. I hate people who say he's a good shot stopper. Well, that's your basic thing as a keeper. It just worries me when it's corners and set pieces and stuff like that, and just willy-nilliness. It's just that's what Casilla worries me with.
That's what I liked last night, watching Ben Foster again. I watched him at every corner. just
No,
total demanding. It was great, you know. But not listen. Let's just talk about the results. So I want to get some predictions for you from Leeds Liverpool tonight. So I'm going to start with you, Scott.
Again, it depends which Liverpool turns up. We will either lose 3 or 4, or we'll sneak a draw, win 1-0. I think we'll sneak a draw.
Okay, Damie?
Head saying 2-2, heart saying 2-1 Leeds, so I'm going to go with my heart.
You know what? You know what? I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds as well, just because, let's go positive. First game of the season. I think we won't stop them from scoring, but I think let's try and get them cold and let's try and get that early goal.
I want to ask you both a question, right? And it's something that's said quite a lot about Leeds coming back up, and I agree with it. The Premier League has missed Leeds United. English football has missed Leeds United, but without fans in the stadium, what has the Premier League missed about Leeds United?
Well, I think, you know what?
Yeah,
no, and I'll play devil's advocate again for the third time. It wasn't the fact that when people played, it was ex-players, when they speak about Leeds, always said they hated playing at Leeds in general. Yeah, because of the fans, but Leeds we've always given teams a tough game. We've never given teams easy rides, home and away. I mean, obviously we have a massive away fan base as well. But when you talk about ex-players and they say, "Where did you love playing?" Ellen Road. I hated it, but I loved it. But you could argue Liverpool are not the same team without fans. They're shocking. You know, I mean, would Liverpool have won 4-0 against Barcelona without fans in that stadium?
No.
Definitely not.
So, you know, and it's a level playing field. Everyone's got no fans there, you know. You got no fans. But, you know, it's a level playing field. I feel like Gary Lineker when he's talking with his glasses.
With his glasses, yeah.
You notice that? Yeah, he does that a lot, doesn't he? But, you know, I think it is a level playing field. It's first game of the season. I think it's the perfect time to play Liverpool. But I'm with Demi. I think we can sneak a 2-1 win. I think they'll score. But I do just feel that maybe the excitement and the buzz. I think Phillips needs a big start to a season. I think all our big players that we think. I think an early goal for Rodrigo, even an early goal for Bamford. Keeper, good save first couple of minutes, confidence up. I think if that happens, I think it can set the game up.
I think what as well, you got to remember we haven't had. I know this might not happen at all, but we've not had a big of a break as we normally do. So, and we won a lot of games at last season. We won a lot of games in a row. So, is the momentum still with us? Are we still in that mindset where can we take that into this first game? That's where I think we might be able to sneak it. And going forward with the fans side of it, I think later on in the season, when it's tough, big 6 pointers, if we're struggling a little bit, I think we need the fans back at home, especially for us home games. You know, in the big games where it feels like a big game. I think our fans could take us home at line to go to. So it'd be nice to get them back in as soon as possible. Really,
I agree. I think, like we say, if we can maybe get through till Christmas, if we can get some fans in, I think that changes everything. Hopefully by then we won't be. I don't want to be languishing near that relegation. If we're hovering 13th, 12th, we can get some fans in. I think that just changes everything. But then again, it changes for every team then. So then you've got to keep that momentum with fans in, because Leeds will feel pressure then with the fans in, because maybe there is less pressure without fans in getting on the back. You know, why did he score that? Why did it? You know, like, so actually they can go into the game and think, you know what, let's just go for it here. Let's, we'll concentrate on this job.
This first game's it's a free hit for us, isn't it? It's a free hit. Liverpool away to free hit. I don't care what anybody says. Obviously, we want us to win, but you go there. Them players can go there. Look where we're playing. Look what we've made it. Let's just go out and do what we can do. I think.
Yeah.
If we get something, it's a bonus point.
And this season will be a season like no other, in the sense of it'll be a mirror image of last year. You know, you will see now at the beginning of the season 0 fans in the stadium. Towards the latter end of this season, or I would like to hope so, you will start to see fans coming slightly back into the stadiums. 1, 2, 3, 4,000 fans, 10, 15,000 fans, maybe towards January, February time. So you'll probably see a different Leeds United. You might not see the Leeds that we all know and love now, but maybe towards the latter part of the end of the season, maybe even when we're teetering on 15th, 16th, once fans start coming back as that 12th man, as a lot of people say, I think you'll start to see Leeds improve a lot. And that January transfer window, man, is a big one for Leeds as well.
Yeah, I agree. But I think as well, let's be honest here, if Leeds finish, literally just above the relegation zone, it's a success. We stayed in the Premier League, and then we build and we go again, and we see what,
If you offered me 17th now, I don't want to finish 17th because I think we can finish higher. But if you offered me it right now, I'd say, yeah, okay. First season,
agree.
yeah.
I would, mate. I would. Yeah, I would. Listen, I'm under no illusions that this season will be incredibly difficult. And, although Fulham and West Brom haven't invested heavily over this transfer period, I think they will do eventually. But yeah, it'll be a lot more difficult than what we thought.
I think the big challenge is if we stay up this year, does Bielsa leave? I think that's where I
think he'll leave anyway. I think he'll leave anyway, mate.
I agree.
The next manager is
huge, mate. The next manager is huge. I mean, it's a massive decision for whoever we bring in next. But I do think he'll leave it at the end of the season. He'll either leave on a high, keeping us up, or he'll leave on a low, taking us down. I just don't think he'll stay because
he'll get us Poching.
Yeah. It's a good shout, that though, mate. That is a good shout. Depending on
if Leeds had a good season, I mean, if nobody snaps Pochettino up, then
we could be
Leeds,
the ones.
We are seen as,
I just think with Bielsa, I think Bielsa's a very much a short-term manager, and I think we've learnt that because he hasn't really learnt the language, so he's obviously not got it in his head that he's staying for years and years. But he's probably got in his head now, all right, I'll have one last year. I've never really done it in the Premier League. Let's have 1 year, smash it, see how we get on, and then maybe leave on a high.
He's an old man as well, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 60 odd, isn't he? Yeah.
65, 66, isn't he now? So it's.
I'm sorry, Andy. I know we've only got about 5 or so minutes left. I just wanted to get both your predictions on because we've done the Premier League. I want both your predictions because we haven't spoke about it on both the trophies, both the domestic trophies, and the Champions League as well.
I was going to say the exact same thing then.
And the Champions League as well. Yeah. And actually, if we've got a minute left, the Euros as well. Andy, go.
So what, FA Cup wise?
FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League.
I think FA Cup, you've always got to just fancy Arsenal sniffing around. I think I do think Man U will win a trophy this year. I do. I just do. I think Champions League. I don't think an English team will win it this year.
No,
I'm not feeling it this year. I think we've had Man City are probably going to try and get their eyes back onto Premier League. FA Cup, I'm going to say Chelsea. I think it'll be a Chelsea-Arsenal final, FA Cup.
League Cup?
Spurs. I think Spurs, maybe. And maybe Leeds might have a run in Carling Cup. Yeah, maybe.
David?
What about you, David?
Spurs will definitely win a trophy, I think, this season.
It's just Mourinho, isn't it?
Mourinho, is it? I'll go Spurs FA Cup, City League Cup, and
Spurs FA Cup. Did he say?
Yeah, Spurs FA Cup.
Ooh, fair play.
City League Cup.
They always win that, though, don't
they? Yeah.
Champions League, I will go with. Do you know what? I'm going to say Chelsea.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Chelsea for Champions
League.
League.
Big shout. I actually think PSG will be up there again, by the way, for Champions League.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, mate. Yeah, I do. I think FA Cup. I agree with you. Did you say Spurs FA Cup?
Yeah.
I agree, mate. Spurs. And do you know what? I am purely basing that opinion on the
documentary.
On the documentary, where Mourinho was telling his players how important the FA Cup and how they should treat it with respect. Of course, granted that after that speech they went out the FA Cup. The League Cup, I think City again, purely again based on the fact that they can just put out a second, third, fourth team and win every game, and
that is true.
And they'll win every game. Champions League Juventus. I think Ronaldo will, and again they've got Luis Suarez as well, and I think they're very much they'll walk the league again like they always do.
Have they got Suarez?
Either got or getting, mate. It's happening.
Higuain's gone now, is he left them?
Again, he's another one. I think he's not. He's either not gone or he's going.
He's joined Slimming World. Deal. Because I've never known a footballer go up and down like him. Whenever. I mean, he is a top striker, but my God. Juventus is quite a good shot. I mean, they're desperate to win Champions League, aren't they? So, listen, boys, whatever happens today, Leeds United, we're back 16 years. I don't know what's going to happen. We want to win. We hope for a win. We're going to do a post show of all the weekend action, and hopefully we can be talking about a Leeds draw or a Leeds win. But for now, boys, let's just pray to the footballing gods that we get a good start. Boys, see you later. It's been a good one. Follow us on social media, and we will be back very, very soon.
Thank you.